And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today. So yesterday I was scrolling through YouTube and I came across a video by Skap Attack. And on this video, Skap Attack was showing a debate between him and Platinum CFL member Gilbert Arenas. And they were debating Kobe Bryant, and it was a very odd debate. If you watch that debate, to me, it really shows you how much rambling and circling that Gilbert Arenas does. Because some of the things he was saying it was just like, what are you talking about? Especially considering I thought Skap Attack set up the debate well from the very beginning as what they were arguing. And that is this notion that, first of all, somehow Kobe was a number 2 during that three-peat of the Lakers. And I've done videos about this. And, you know, what I basically said was, I was like, you could say that Kobe was a number 2 during the very first championship. But after that, you couldn't say that. Now, Skap Attack actually provided numbers saying how Kobe led the playoffs in fourth quarter scoring and clutch points and so on, and provided great evidence as to why Kobe Bryant was definitely not a number 2 for the second and third championship. And so Gilbert Arenas, gets into, talking in circles as he does, and eventually they start talking about career in totality and whatnot. And so this is kind of what I want to say about this Kobe Bryant thing. Like I said, I've done a video about this before, maybe a couple of videos about this before. First of all, let me explain, because Gilbert Arenas is, he started talking about taking the career in totality into consideration and whatnot. And this is why I believe, first of all, I believe the first and most important thing is your peak. Is how good were you when you were at your best? And the reason I believe this is because people have different paths to take. People have different paths to take that are beyond their control. For instance, Kobe Bryant came into the league out of high school, but he came in at a time when they weren't going to just turn over the keys to a kid straight out of high school. LeBron James did, in fact, come into the league when they just, again, he was the chosen one, supposedly. He was the guy who was chosen to try to fool the NBA fans into believing that somehow the NBA is greater than ever. He was chosen for that. But yeah, so they have two different career paths. And because of that, to me, just saying, okay, it's just about the career in totality, I believe first and foremost, it's about your peak. And then once you get past the peak, then you start considering other things. But like I said, to me, the peak is the most important because it shows your journey. It takes into consideration that you started, that you had different paths to get to where you were, but did you have the determination and fortitude to reach, to maximize your potential? And so I believe in the video that I originally did, basically this is what I said, and this is for you LeBron James fanboys, because And Skap Attack brought this out. This whole thing only comes about, this whole Kobe played with Shaq only comes about from the LeBron James fanboys in defense of your ridiculous king. And thus in defense of your ridiculous selves. It only comes up, but this is my point about the whole Kobe playing with Shaq thing. Is if you want to concede that point, fanboys, listen to me closely now. If you want to concede that point, if you want us to say, okay, well, Kobe played with Shaq, and so for those first 3 championships, Shaq was the guy. If you want us to say that, you have to accept that your king has always played with more help. If you're saying those championships don't count for Kobe, or don't count as much for Kobe because he played with Shaq, well then, certainly the Miami years don't count for LeBron James at all. The Cleveland years don't count for LeBron James, and unfortunately for you guys, nobody counts the bubble. So even if you want to go down that road of Kobe Bryant playing with Shaq and somehow those championships weren't as valuable, well, here's the deal. The 2 championships Kobe got with Pau Gasol, those are worth more than every last one of your ridiculous Kings championships. The 2 championships Kobe got with Pau Gasol are worth more than every last one of your Kings ridiculous championships, of your Kings super team-led championships, of your Kings shortcut championships, of your Kings I'm gonna take the easy way out championships. So yeah, let's get back to this whole peak thing. I would argue that Kobe's 2 championships with Pau Gasol, to me, that is Kobe's peak. Because to me, that was Kobe at his point where he had to overcome the most. He didn't have Shaq. So to me, not only did Kobe have to be great as an individual, but he had to up his leadership game. You know, I think I read somewhere that after the Lakers lost to the Pistons, that Kobe talked to Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan told him basically like, look, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. You got to figure it out from a leadership standpoint. You got to figure out how to motivate your teammates. So to me, the 2 championships that Kobe got with Pau Gasol, that was Kobe at his peak. That was Kobe at his best combination as a skilled player and as a leader. And here's the thing, and again, at the end of the day, fanboys, this whole argument, I mean, forget Michael Jordan. We even talking about Kobe Bryant. In my personal opinion, LeBron James shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence with real competitors. Let's just put it that way. Forget the killer mentality that we all know LeBron James doesn't have, that Gilbert Arenas somehow tries to make excuses for and change the definition of what killer mentality is in order to try to suggest somehow, some way that a guy who's flopping all over the court and creating super teams has a killer mentality, when Kobe went the opposite way. He wanted to prove that he could do it as the sole superstar on the team. LeBron James is the opposite of a Kobe Bryant and a Michael Jordan. So when we're talking about mentality, this is why I say LeBron James should not be even mentioned in a sentence. This is why LeBron James, and I'm getting ready to do a video on this a more in-depth video of why arguably LeBron James shouldn't be ranked. Because I said that in another one of my videos, and a viewer commented, and he wasn't necessarily a LeBron fan. He wasn't a LeBron fan, but he wanted to know my reasoning for saying potentially LeBron James shouldn't be ranked at all. And this is part of the reason, is because the mentality. The mentality of overcoming, and I guess at the end of the day, we can say it simply like this. LeBron James had no drive to actually reach his very best. Fanboys, if you want to hear anything remotely good about your king, this is what I will say is, we never saw LeBron James at his full potential because LeBron James didn't have the mentality to reach his full potential. We've never seen LeBron James actually reach his full potential. That's just a fact. Because LeBron James has a lazy mentality. LeBron James has an entitled mentality. Here we are in year 22, and the Lakers are still talking about making trades and all this kind of stuff that at the end of the day, LeBron James just simply has never learned the lesson that if you want consistent greatness, that has to be built through consistency. Let me say that again for you ridiculous LeBron James fanboys. And let me say this again for LeBron James himself. LeBron James, if you want consistent greatness, if you want the kind of greatness that can create 6-0 with no game sevens in the finals, if you want the kind of consistent greatness that can turn a losing franchise like Cleveland into a dynasty, that requires consistency all across the board. And what I mean by that is it requires a consistent coach. It requires a consistent core group of players, building, developing chemistry year after year. It requires a superstar who holds himself accountable consistently. It requires a superstar that holds his teammates accountable consistently. It requires a superstar who understands that true greatness is built, is compounded. Is you build year after year and it's added to. The chemistry gets better. Everyone's skills get a little better. And this is how you get to greatness. But this switching in, LeBron James has created a whole culture of shortcuts, a whole culture. I just did a video on Kwame Brown saying that LeBron James will leave the NBA worse than he found it. Facts. Because the LeBron James culture of the NBA is shortcuts and not building. So we never ever got to see the best of LeBron James because LeBron James is a shortcut taker. So when you even want to put him in the same sentence as a Kobe Bryant, arguably the hardest worker in basketball, I think you should be slapped. LeBron James is not in the realm of a Kobe Bryant. Let's just get this out the way. Let's get this out the way, because, you know, I think we all know and agree. Most people know and agree. Most people with a little bit of basketball understanding, forget basketball understanding, with a little bit of life understanding, understands that LeBron James should never be in a conversation with Michael Jordan. I think most people know that. But here's the reality of it. Is LeBron James should never be in a conversation with Kobe Bryant. Here's the reality of it. Is LeBron James should never be in a conversation with Larry Bird. He should never be in a conversation with Magic or Kareem or Wilt or Tim Duncan or any long list of players, or Hakeem Olajuwon, because to me, these are players who for the most part, actually reached their potential because they had a mindset that was not about taking shortcuts. Unlike LeBron James. So I don't care what natural gifts he had. I don't care about his athleticism and all this. At the end of the day, compared to the other superstars, any one of those superstars who who was playing in the LeBron James era, especially as it pertains to, I would say from the 2010s on, because they just kept making the game easier and easier. To me, all of those guys, if they were in their primes during the LeBron James era, would have had much more success than LeBron James. If any of those guys were in their primes in the LeBron James era, LeBron James wouldn't even have the 4 championships he got. That's right. I just said that, fanboys. Go cry in the corner. Because those guys understood what LeBron James doesn't. And that is greatness requires building. Greatness requires pushing yourself past your limits. And so when you're talking about comparing him to Kobe Bryant, there is no comparison. Again, if you want to try to fanboys, I'm going to tell you this one more time. If you guys want to try to take away some credit from Kobe for playing with Shaq, then that means all of your Kings championships are null and void, which I think they are anyway, because again, he took shortcuts to get them no matter which way you try to twist it. That's what he did. But anyway, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents, like I said, after I watched the debate between him and Skap Attack and Gilbert Arenas getting destroyed by Skap Attack. And like I said, to me, if you watch it, if you hadn't seen it, you should go check it out. If you care to waste your time, because most people understand these things about the Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James debate, if you want to call it that. But like I said, Gilbert Arenas, some of the stuff when he just starts talking in circles, it just really makes you question, like, either you really don't know as much as you pretend to, or you are truly on the payroll of Clutch Sports and you are capping super hard for whatever paycheck they're giving you. It got to be one or the other, because the stuff Gilbert Arenas says, it's mind-boggling. It's almost as if he doesn't even understand the conversation, as if he doesn't understand the question. Like, he just starts talking in circles. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments if you have seen the debate between Skap Attack and Gilbert Arenas. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Kobe playing with Shaq affects him? Because do you think he was the number 2 guy for the first three-peat? Like I said, me personally, I say for the very first championship, but the second and third championship, it definitely wasn't. To me, it was a very equal co-captain situation, and you can compare that to, what am I trying to think of? Kareem and Magic or whatnot, But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.